So he is not ready to make his decision. All right, now we know that. He was on the Pat McAfee show for his Tuesday hit, as per usual. He was not ready to make his decision, and he's still not ready to make his decision. But he did talk about some potential options out there for him and for the Packers moving forward. Here was Aaron Rodgers.
I've never been a free agent, which is pretty wild. I've never gotten to the end of my contract. So to even think about being in another uniform never really crossed my mind. But to be open to the possibility, if I want to keep playing, that it might be somewhere else, I understand that. I understand they might want to move on and go younger at a number of different positions. That's a part of it. But again, that doesn't open, the door for any really conjecture, honestly, on my side. And I'm not saying that to be cryptic. I got to figure out what I want to do, and then we'll see where all the parties are at and what kind of transpires after that.
And so away we go. We got Aaron Rodgers watch. We're in week 2 of this whole thing, and something tells me this is going to continue on until right after the Super Bowl.
All right. Here's how I'm seeing this whole thing right now. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers has always been a polarizing figure. Okay, that kind of goes without saying, and whether it's the manner in which he's handled things with the off seasons and the ayahuasca, the COVID being immunized, like all that whole conversation, whatever it is. I mean, it could be the fact you're a Bears fan and he happens to own the Chicago Bears.
That's a fact.
It could be that.
Own them.
We're getting to a point though, like we're in this day and age. I think everyone loves transparency. Okay, like have you guys noticed when you go to like restaurants, they'll have like that open kitchen concept where you can look back and you see everyone's cooking.
Yeah,
like you could see everything that's going on, right?
Yeah,
there you go.
If the chef's scratching his nuts, hey, I don't want that guy serving me a burger.
You're gonna say I've got a little bit of that guy's nuts in my burger.
Yeah,
right.
I just watched him do it.
Right,
that's a great point.
Yeah,
whether we're now like looking at like every update, there's some classified documents being found in like a politician's house. Like every update from CNN and Fox is like, more classified documents are found. So it's like at this point, this classified documents is littered everywhere.
By the way, UFOs are now real. How about that?
I think the whole point is in this day and age, like we love to have the information, to have transparency, to feel like we're seeing all the different angles of this, right? Like that's what we think we like to have. And the truth is, that's not the case. Like when you see a movie or like a love movie, right? We always like look for these like kind of happy endings at the end of the love movie, and we see how things end up going. But for anyone who's in a relationship, you realize like there's a lot more that goes into those conversations, those fights, the breakups, the get back togethers, the everything else that transpires than that. But you don't see it all. You kind of just see the highlights. And whether it's a TV show, a movie, whatever else, or even a story being told. Like no one wants to hear all the minutia. No one wants to hear every single little detail. You just want to hear the stuff that kind of gets you to the end and gets you to the ultimate conclusion. And I feel like now, like because Aaron Rodgers is on doing a weekly deal, if he's going to talk about it this much, it is going to wear people down. And it's going to get to the point where he almost might become a little unlikable, even more unlikable in sense to some out there because of it. It's like, man, just try to show a version of yourself that people don't see. It doesn't have to all be about the Green Bay Packers or what your decision is going to be. Like, I think it'd be better off for him personally if people didn't necessarily know all the little things that are running through his head. Like that's just me, because I think the more he talks about it, the more it kind of comes off as, I've never been a free agent. Well, yeah, obviously we know you haven't been a free agent. You've been playing forever. And
humble flex.
Kind of, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if it's a humble flex or if it's like more just a
maybe
flex.
Maybe just a flex. Yeah, maybe just a flex. Yeah, maybe.
I just feel like the more he talks about it, the more it's like, oh, man, I wish we weren't going through this again.
You know what hit me was conjecture. And I don't ever want to assume that everybody – I know for me, I'm always expanding my lingo and my grammar and stuff like that. So conjecture to me obviously it's the definition of it is drawing a conclusion or having an opinion formed off of the basis of incomplete information. So somebody out there, hopefully you just expanded your language and your grammar. I wonder what that conjecture is. What is the incomplete information? Where is that? Is it his incomplete information? Is it Green Bay's incomplete information? Where is the incomplete information coming from? Is it another team? Is it their incomplete information? Because again, you're talking about as you mentioned, I have never been a free agent. I've never envisioned myself or saw myself in another uniform. Not too long ago, you're saying people aren't coming to Green Bay for the cheese or for the football. They're coming here for me. So to me, you were drawing the conclusion, and you put the flag in the ground and drew your line in the sand, saying that Green Bay is only relevant because of Aaron Rodgers. So if that's how you feel about it, did that change over the course of a year's time? Did you want to really say that now that I have my contract and the contract pays me a whole lot of money and I have that type of influence and say in over what happens with me moving forward, that I don't have to, as we mentioned, flex on them any type of way because, well, I got my money? Where is I just wonder where is the line of like real information or real, like, this is what it is, and I wonder that for Green Bay, and I wonder that for Aaron Rodgers. Is this a way of kind of shopping yourself to go to another team? It just didn't come across to me as the Aaron Rodgers. When we were having the conversations and Q kept saying that he's gone, like it's done, it's over. I would say that sounds like now rather than the first time. The first time around, it didn't sound like he wanted to leave. It didn't sound like he was going to leave. And the only way he was going to get out of there is if they got him up out of there. You like how I shot that at you?
San Fran.
You like how I shot that at you?
Yeah, what's that about, man?
Did you like how I shot that at you, Q, on a Wednesday?
Jeez.
On a Wednesday,
right.
going
the
up.
is I know some stuff behind the scenes, and he thought he was going to San Fran.
Yeah,
and once that fell through, a lot of things changed.
Yeah, I got you. I know you know a lot of things, bro. You know what I mean?
Thanks,
I know you know
man.
a lot of things. That's why it's really good when I make a bold prediction and it actually, happens, versus when you make the prediction based off of that information and then, I get it.
Yeah.
I was just happy that I made a bold prediction and mine was right and yours wasn't.
Yeah.
I just
It's
felt
very
like
rare. So I hope
yeah, that's all right. I'm gonna take that. Hey, if it's just one time, I'm gonna take it. That's what you gotta understand about me. I'm happy about the one time. That's why I like bringing it up. But anyways, like getting back to what I was saying, I don't think he wants to come back. Like I don't, and maybe that does fly down the line of reasoning of the information that you received and why he thought it was San Fran and all that. I don't think he wants to come back. Now it's I do not want to come back. But how do I get out and how do I get out in a way where maybe he's unscathed? That kind of is what I feel about it. Like he's going to put it on Green Bay in terms of if this seemingly goes wrong or he has to leave. It's not on him. It's on Green Bay.
I think he does care what the people in Green Bay think about his exit and think about the way this whole thing goes. And I just find it hard to believe that he doesn't have an idea of what he wants. I just, like he said, in another clip, well, you just don't wake up on January 24th and just know, all right, well, this is what I want to do. Well, why don't you? Like, I know what I don't want. Like, you can give me a list of restaurants.
What do you not want?
Well, you can give me a list of restaurants and say, where do you want to eat? I may not know where I want to eat, but I know what I definitely don't want to eat. Like, I can name those off pretty quick. If he didn't want to play, I think he'd already make the decision. I think it would have been gone. I wonder if he gets the sense that maybe the Packers are feeling like, Yeah, it's time, dude. Like, listen, we gave it a shot last year. You got injured, a couple of bad breaks. We did the best we could. We got back into the playoff hunt, and then we lost at home. But we've done this for how long now? We've got one Super Bowl to show for it. It's been over a decade since that Super Bowl. I wonder if the Packers, and I wonder if that fan base, and people, we're on in Wisconsin right now. People are listening on the Game in Wisconsin. I wonder if they're feeling the same thing we're feeling. Like, dude, we're doing this again, like another offseason of this. Let's turn the page. Let's go to Jordan Love and let's see what we got for the future. That's where I feel on the whole thing. That's where I stand on it. I don't know. Just seems like he's out there, trying to make everybody buy into the idea that he's still up in the air about everything. I don't know that he necessarily is.